All right, let's start today's show. We're now, 4 days out from this matchup. Wonder what you guys' favorite win over Michigan State for your Wolverines are over the years. I'm not talking about anything recent. You can go back to the 50s, 60s, 70s, however old you are. Let me know in the comments below. For me, let's break it down to a few. I think 2002 was interesting. The 49-3 win after the year before the last-second Clockgate scandal. 2002 and 2004, the great Braylon Edwards comeback show, down 17 with like 5 minutes left in the game, get the triple overtime win. Then you can fast forward to 2016. That was an okay win. The Jabril Peppers 2-point conversion run back, all that stuff. But that was a bad Michigan State team. 2018 is also an interesting one. Michigan goes on the road against a ranked Michigan State team. The Devin Bush just scraping and cleating out the Spartan logo in the near brawl in the pregame. So let me know. Comment the year below in the comments. We are going to get into some Michigan football recruiting rumors and more in today's show. It's the Michigan Football Report by Chat Sports coming up right now. My back is kind of hurting today because my wallet is so fat when I sit on it because I've been making mad cash sports betting. And it's all because of BetQL. They're giving me the games to pick, 5-star bets. Go get started with them. Beat your sportsbook, chatsports.com/MichiganQL. Use code ChatMichigan for 25% off a description. All right, before we jump into some stories today, we got some recruiting decommitments, a potential 5-star flip, and more stories. Want to just give it to you straight here and make sure you guys know everything that's going on into this game. Michigan is now a 4.5-point favorite. Started off at 4 points, now moved to 4.5, which would lead me to believe that some early money came in on Michigan. So they want to increase the spread, have even at the bets, have Michigan State money coming in. Over-under is kind of vary between 50 up to 52. I've seen it, but it's kind of right in there in 50.5 to 51-point range. And now, we mean business here, okay? This is a means business request. This ask is undefeated this year, just like the Michigan football team. But I only hold out for special games. I'm not doing this against Rutgers or anything like that. I did it for Wisconsin. We did it for the Nebraska game. I can't remember if we did it last week or not. The Northwestern. Probably not the Northwestern. So it's undefeated in road games too. Nebraska, Wisconsin. So you got to like the video. If you want Michigan to beat Michigan State, don't jinx it, okay? Don't be the guy sitting there on Saturday afternoon going, I didn't like that video, and Yoder told me they would lose if I didn't. Okay, so like the video. I think we got like 1,300 likes on the Wisconsin week video, so we got to beat that. That should be a no-brainer. Expecting 1,500, maybe 2,000 likes on this one. So like the video right now. If you have any self of conscience, or if you just don't want to, jinx it, it's like wearing the right socks on game day, or if you like open the fridge with one hand and Michigan scores a touchdown, you keep opening the fridge with that hand. You don't switch it up. That's what this is, folks. So make sure to like the video. Now, number 12 player in the state of Michigan, Tayshawn Trent, has decommitted from the program. He's a 3-star wide receiver. He's been committed to Michigan since March, so 8 or 7.5 months or so, committed March of his junior year. And this has been, I don't want to say writing on the wall. I haven't talked about it a ton, but it seems that the recruiting guys have put this out there that they think he is a potential flip. And not because he wants to go to a better school, but because Michigan is continuously over-recruiting his position with higher-ranked players and doesn't think the potential for playing time and maybe being lost in the shuffle with 2 or 3 other wide receiver recruits that could potentially come into this class is what could happen. So he's decommitting. I don't think he will end up in Michigan. Doesn't seem like he's going to be considering him at all. And the blog boys have started to put in their crystal ball projections for him to end up at Louisville. A 3-star program for a 3-star prospect. Hope he has success there. I wouldn't beat myself up on this if I'm a Michigan football fan thinking, oh my gosh, guys are decommitting. Now, this is the 7th decommitment from this class, which is kind of wild to think about because what do they have, like 16, 17 total commits, something like that, Sam? So fairly high attrition, but we've seen this before in the past. Especially like Jim Harbaugh's first couple classes, they were getting like 12, 13, 14 guys decommitting because they would take a ton of commits early and then kind of weed guys out, stop recruiting guys too heavily. So there's the decommitment. Tayshawn Trent, he will not be part of this recruiting class, but I do expect Michigan to get 1 or 2 other wide receiver commits in this class. That early signing day is less than 2 months away. All right, let's get into some more recruiting and all kinds of rumors. It is our Michigan football Harbaugh head rumor meter. Domani Jackson, is he dropping USC? These rumors have hit a fever pitch all the last 2-3 weeks with Clay Helton getting fired. And then they lose another game. What are they now, 3-4? And I'm giving this one 3 Harbaugh heads, folks, which if you've seen the show in the past means it is pretty likely I'm inching further to calling Domani Jackson to Michigan imminent. but there's still some potential out there that he doesn't end up with the Wolverines. All right, he's been committed to USC since January. I think all the things he said with him, his dad's a Michigan coach, Michigan's his dream school, all this different stuff. It was really weird that he committed to USC in January when Michigan had just, given Jim Harbaugh a contract extension, although it's kind of not really an extension with a smaller buyout. And USC was in no better position with coaching staff turmoil. Clay Helton got fired, 3 games into this year. So it was kind of a weird pull for him to do that. They just lost their other 5-star in this class, flipped last week to Georgia. So now he's the only really recruit of any relevance or substance in that USC recruiting class. He's heading to LSU a week from Friday, right? He's going to be there for the LSU, held at Alabama for the LSU game, the first weekend of November. So a week from this Friday, Saturday, Sunday, he'll be there. And the expectation is, although he did visit Michigan for the Ohio State game and several times his junior year and even sophomore year, that he will be in Ann Arbor for the Ohio State game on November 27th. Now, put this quote out, saw it on the interwebs, then he gave it to Rivals.com. He's talking about Steve Clinkscale, who's been with Michigan only about for 7 months or so, since March. When he was recruited over from Kentucky after Michigan lost their co-DC and secondary coach to Buffalo as the head coach. So our relationship is really good, yada, yada, yada. At the end is where it gets interesting. I was interested in Michigan, and that's my dream school. He's trying to make it a dream come true. That's Domani Jackson, number 6 player overall in the country, on Michigan cornerbacks coach Steve Clinkscale, who's been, widely considered a top recruiter, maybe Michigan's best recruiter on the staff right now. So it's interesting to see what comes of this. Michigan is hitting him up heavily, and folks, I do think that he is leaning Michigan. It's very clear that his parents have wanted him to go to Michigan. His dad's probably in his 50s or so. Grew up in the heyday of Michigan football, and dads push their sons towards the teams they like, right? Many people follow the teams that their parents or their brothers or their grandpa like, and that's kind of what's happening here from Southern California, committed to the local school, whatever. But their recruiting class is falling apart. I believe in my heart of hearts, we'll talk about it here in a second, that it all is going to come down to one thing when it comes to the USC staff, because if he doesn't go to USC, I doubt Alabama happens, but talk about that more here in just a moment. But did want to make sure you guys knew all about this week's betting matchup. If you're a betting man, game is 12 o'clock, obviously noon on Fox, big noon kickoff from East Lansing, Spartan Stadium. Michigan, again, 4.5-point favorites. The over-under right now is 50.5 points for this game. The early money's coming in on Michigan a little bit, as I mentioned at the top of the show, but I'm going to be interested to see how this line shakes out. That would tell me that Michigan, if this game was at home, Michigan would be about an 11 or 12-point favorite, right? They say, 3 points to the home team. So you flip that, Michigan takes 3 points, and then, flips on their side for being home. That Michigan would be maybe a 10-point favorite at home, 7-point favorite at a neutral field. So that's the betting odds. But I want from you guys, if you think you know what you're doing, if you think you know what's going to happen in this game, go down in the comments and predict the score for this one. I want to see if you guys know what is going on with Michigan football, and if you could project what this team will do on the road against a top 10 opponent. Crazy stat to think about. It has been now 15 years, September 2006, since Michigan went on the road and absolutely murdered number 2 Notre Dame, that they have beat a top 10 team on the road. As crazy as that sounds. We have got more on Domani Jackson coming up here in a second, but want to make sure you guys knew about BetQL. I mentioned at the top of the show, they are a presenting sponsor. Get 25% off a BetQL subscription using promo code ChatMichigan. It is chatsports.com/MichiganQL. I'll have that comment or that link and promo code down in the comments and the description of this video. They give you 5-star bets. They rate every single game, over under, total, first half lines, first quarter lines, etc. Make educated decisions if you make bets, and the subscription's so cheap you make one bet and win like I did last week. Throw them up there, Sam. You will be in the money. I'm putting anywhere between $25 and $50 in any one of these games, and I went 4-1. I have won with making almost BetQL exclusive bets. 4 out of the last 5 weeks I have won, and I'm pretty excited about it. I'm looking more forward. I really didn't bet NFL a ton in the past, but I have been definitely doing it more this season than college in the past. Now, who is Domani Jackson? If you don't follow recruiting as closely as some other people, whatever. when Michigan's losing to Ohio State, I don't get that much excited about recruiting anymore as I used to, but Domani Jackson is a player to get excited about. The number 6 overall player in the 2022 class. ESPN's got him 6, Rivals at 9, 24/7 in their own rankings is 15. You kind of rank all those together. Well, he's got the 6th highest average of all those guys. Number 1 cornerback, at least this last time I checked, in the rankings. I think ESPN or 24/7 is number 2 cornerback behind the kid that was a Singletary out of Florida that was committed to Ohio State for a while, then flipped. So that is the word on him. I believe that he's leaning Michigan, and I do think that if he ends up at Michigan and it doesn't go to USC, I do think it'll come down to whether or not the current coach at USC, their interim coach, if he gets retained by the next staff, I think that may be a big deciding factor in this one. All right, JJ McCarthy, is he getting 25% of the snaps? I've seen this rumor all the way around there. I reached out to some people in and around the program, folks. I'm giving it 2 Harbaugh heads, right? There is enough smoke and a little bit of fire out there that says that over the last 2 weeks, coming out of the bye week, and then this week here, that JJ McCarthy has been taking more and more and more snaps with the ones, all right, and then being put in positions where it's not just read options, or it's not just, hey, I'm going to pump fake and then let a running back run in front of me, we could get a lead blocker and take off running. They're giving him the snaps where Michigan has to throw the ball, because if you look at Michigan State's defense, they are one of the worst pass defenses in the country. I think they're 120 out of 130 in passing yards given up per game so far this year. Now, Michigan's 104 in actual passing, so this is a strength meets strength, weakness meets weakness. Michigan's a strong running team. Michigan State's a strong running defense. Michigan State is a bad passing defense. Michigan State is a bad passing team. Maybe JJ McCarthy's the guy. I don't know if we're going to toss up the stats. There they are right there. 12 of 19, 63%. 2 touchdowns he's had this year have been 2 of the best passes I've seen a Michigan quarterback throw in the past decade, right? As far as, wow, that kind of looks like Aaron Rodgers to make that throw. Just a NFL-level throws on his 2 touchdown passes, both to Dalen Baldwin. So we'll see what happens with JJ after this week. I don't think he is going to start this week. Cade McNamara will get the start, but let's see what you got this week, Cade. Right, you go on the road, you beat a top 10 team, you right the wrongs of last year. I saw Vincent Gray said today, he's like, last year we came out of that win against Minnesota, and Michigan State just lost to Rutgers. We kind of overlooked them. We were looking forward a couple games, trying to see what the future held for this program. I don't think that's going to happen this year. So if Cade McNamara, going up against the number 120 pass defense in America, can't throw for 225, 250, can't throw a touchdown in the red zone, you can't keep him as starting quarterback, especially if you lose the game. You've got to consider at least going into the next week against Indiana and maybe giving them splitting quarters, or one guy gets a couple series, the next guy gets a couple series, see who has the hot hand. But I want to ask you guys this question. Will JJ McCarthy start a game this season? Let's comment down below why for yes and for no, including the bowl game, including a potential championship game, Big Ten championship game if you think Michigan gets there. Why for yes and for no? I'm going to say no now, not because he doesn't deserve it, but I do think that Michigan gets the win this Saturday. And if they do, it would be really tough for them to go away from an 8-0 quarterback against a team that will probably be ranked. And you guys might think I'm crazy saying this, is I think the winner of this game has a good chance of being number 2 in the first college football playoff rankings that come out next Tuesday. Because think about it, it's not going to be 1 loss Ohio State, 1 loss Alabama, etc. Certainly they don't want to put Cincinnati at number 2 and then pull them back after that. So we'll see what happens there. Let me know why for yes and for no if JJ McCarthy will start a game this year for the Michigan football team. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. It's youtube.com/MichiganTV. We're on a nice run with subscribers. Appreciate everyone who has added this show to their YouTube subscriptions and have engaged in the comments and have liked the videos. It all helps. And so thank you so much you have. If you haven't yet, please go ahead and do it if you like the show. And if you've got a friend who likes Michigan football, send them that link. It'll be down in the comments, down in the description. Say, hey, subscribe to the show. You'll get more information, daily shows on Michigan football. Last rumor of the day, this has been a big talking point over the last week or so, is Mel Tucker, Michigan State's second-year head coach, who went, 2-6 last year, whatever it was, something crazy like that. Is he eyeing LSU? There's been all kinds of people, even that guy Rainer Saban from the Free Press put out an article today. I'm giving it 1 Harbaugh head, folks. I mean, this doesn't have much relevance at all. I don't think even if he was really interested in LSU, if he's trying to take secret conversations and already planning his exit from Michigan State after 2 years. But he did remember leave Colorado after only one season as head coach there, the first season he's ever been a head coach in the history of his life. So I'm going to talk more about this story here in a second. I want to remind you guys about BetQL. If you're nervous about getting started with a subscription or anything like that, $10 is all it takes to get going with BetMGM through this partnership they've got with BetQL. Go to chatsports.com/MichiganMGM. You've got to use that link so they know to give you the deal, and you put $10 down with BetMGM. Once you make your first bet of $10 or more, BetQL will email you within 24 hours of the bet settling and give you a free 1-year subscription. It's a $180 value. Chatsports.com/MichiganMGM. Let's take a look at the quote from Mel Tucker from his press conference on Monday. My focus is on the upcoming game against the school down the road. That's where my concentration and my focus is. I really appreciate you understanding that. Hey, that doesn't sound like a denial to me, okay? But here, let's be real here. Unless they go 11-1, 12-0, make the college football playoff, and have that kind of season and just start looking amazing, beat Ohio State, beat Michigan, beat Penn State, there is no way LSU is hiring. Prior to this season, he's an under 500 coach. Now he's got 7-0 start. So there's a game or two above 500. He has 3 years of head coaching. This is LSU, right? I would say, all things being considered, it is absolutely a top 4 or 5 job in college football consistently over the past 20 years. The last 3 head coaches have won a national title. There's not a single school in college football. There's not a single school in college basketball. There's no program in any sport that can say their last 3 coaches have all won national titles. And for that, I think LSU will continue to go after bigger names, and Mel Tucker certainly isn't the name that I think they will go after in this one. But I'll ask you guys this question if you're interested in this, because Mel Tucker is the opponent for Michigan this week. Let me know who you think LSU's next head coach will be. I don't know. Who do I think it'll be? Sam, who do you think it's going to be? Joe, that's a good one. I like that one. The Panthers did score 3 points, I think, this past weekend, so maybe his stock's going down a little bit. We'll see. But I'll go with Joe Brady. That's a good one. He makes sense when it comes to, well, he had the offense that led us to that national title 2 years ago. So let me know down in the comments. I've got your questions coming up tomorrow on the Michigan Football Mailbag Show. Until then, go Blue.